One day, about 14 years ago, I announced to my friends who were my roommates on campus about a simple but difficult rule they would have to follow if they must continue to sleep in my room. That rule was, we sleep by 11 p.m. and wake up by 3:30 a.m. or 4 a.m. and read like crazy. Because I forced everyone around me to follow some difficult rules, some of my friends abandoned me. And today, only God knows what they have done with their lives. The truth about life is none of us can be completely free. In fact, the truly free people are those who discipline themselves not to be free. To be truly free, you have to give yourself some rules to live by, even if those rules are not easy at first. So, in today's video, I will be sharing with you the 3 life-changing rules I followed every day. And I hope you take 1 or 2 of these rules and make it yours. Before, never use social media in the morning. Some of you who know my story know that I'm not a big social media person. I never used Twitter, Instagram or Snapchat. I deleted my Facebook in the year 2017 and only communicated with my employees and a few people via WhatsApp. But that's not all. I still use YouTube. While I don't consider YouTube a social media per se because of the millions of highly educated videos right here, the fact is that there are so many comedy skits and cat videos that can take away your 3 hours before you know it. I'm like everyone. I like to laugh. So even if I come here on YouTube to watch educational videos, comedy skits can take me away from such videos and waste many hours of my day. So what do? I give myself a simple rule. Never go to social media in the morning. When I say morning, I mean never go into social media until you finish the most important duty of the day. So let me give you an example. I am a morning person. I wake up usually around 4 a.m. What I do is very simple. I focus the first 6 to 8 hours of my day on the most important thing I have to do in the day. Those 7 hours are the most precious in my life. My children and wife are asleep for the first few hours. Most people in the world don't call or text you in the morning, and your energy level is at the highest. If you can invest those precious hours religiously, you can get more done in a day than most people would in 3 days. And when you think about the compound effect of that in a year, you won't even believe it. Now, let me make something clear here. I sometimes jump to YouTube by 10 or 11 a.m., but that's usually because I finished my most important duty of the day. Maybe I woke up by 4 a.m. and before 10 a.m. I'm done with my most important task. Then I can afford to waste 1 or 2 hours on a few entertainment before I go back to my desk. Here is my advice here. Use your morning for yourself. Make it a rule or even a religious commandment. Never go to social media in the morning or in the first 7 hours of the day, depending on when you start your day. Because morning is a special time. Only dumb people use it to consume what other people create. Accept what other people create actually helps you in any way. Take for example, I have some good teachers I like here on YouTube. Though I don't usually consume their content in the morning, it won't be bad for me to sit down and listen to Seth Godin or Dr. Jordan Peterson by 4 in the morning. But a comedy skit? No. So don't give away your morning. It's the best gift any day can ever give you. 2. Sleep early if possible. Think about the story I used to start this video. It was the story of how I forced all of my friends to sleep less and read like mad. Yeah, it was helpful when I was young. But as I grew older, I discovered that sleep is actually an important thing. I used to be so bad in the morning. I used to wake up at 7:30 a.m. and feel like I had not slept more than an hour. I used to have very low energy in the morning until about 9 months ago. I changed something in my routine, which changed my life, and that is simple. I went to bed early. I go to bed by 8:30 p.m. and hope I can catch up with sleep before 9:30 a.m. This rule is so important to me that about 2 weeks ago, I had a visitor I respect in my home and I knew he needed us to talk till middle of the night. I had to explain to him politely, please, I need to go to bed early or I will have a bad day tomorrow. I've read somewhere that every hour of sleep before midnight is like 2 hours after midnight. I don't know how scientifically true that is, but from my experience, every hour I sleep before midnight is as good as 3 hours after midnight. For example, if I go to bed by 12 a.m. and wake up by 7 a.m. or go to bed by 9 p.m. and wake up by 4 a.m., those are the same 7 hours, right? Yes, those are the same 7 hours. But any day I go to bed by 12 and wake up by 7 a.m., I wake up like a half-dead man. If I try to work, I can only go 3 hours before I start feeling dizzy. However, if I can get to bed early and spend the same amount of hours, most days after working for 7 hours, I'll feel like I still have the strength to have 7 more hours. I'm not a scientist and don't even know whether what works for me would work for you. But maybe you should try it. Try and go to bed early so you can wake up early and see whether that helps you to have better energy in the morning. If you don't trust my opinion, because I'm just a random YouTube guy, would you trust one of the smartest humans to ever live? Well, Benjamin Franklin said, "Early to bed, early to rise makes a wealthy man healthy and wise." 3. Cut out time to learn every day. Just yesterday, I was telling my wife a vital lesson I learned about entrepreneurship, and that lesson is, most businesses don't grow because their founders don't. It's actually very simple. Your business can never outgrow your personal growth. If you don't grow, your business or marriage won't. In fact, your health won't as well. Personal growth is not personal. It's about everything you are in the world to do. The more you grow, the more everything else around you grows. If you stop growing, everything else starts dying. I know this, so I discipline myself to separate time every day for conscious learning. Some of you who have subscribed to my personal channel often see my library. Hundreds of books you see there are not just for the camera. I love them and take the time to read them. By the way, if you want to know more about me or just be my YouTube friend, you can join my personal YouTube channel at the description box of this video. Back to what I was saying. Any human who doesn't make a conscious daily effort to develop his mind cannot go far in life. I have seen a few entrepreneurs falling into this trap. For example, they start businesses and work hard every day, hoping they will succeed, but they never do. And the reason for that is because they work harder on their businesses than they do on their minds. Jim Rohn said, "Work harder on yourself than you do on your job." This doesn't mean that you have to read for 8 hours every day because you work for 8 hours. It simply means that you should be disciplined enough to turn off your TV set, log out of social media, avoid gossip, and pick up a book for an hour. Earl Nightingale said, and I quote, "If you spend an hour every day to learn something about your field, you'll become a national expert in 5 years or less." Think about that for a moment. So, you might want to ask me, why is learning so important? If you're the only person in your industry, if you have a business that doesn't have competition, you don't really need to learn. But because the world is highly competitive, if other people know what you don't, they will crush you. And it's that simple. Now, here's the summary of this video. Because your morning is the most precious time of the day, I advise you not to go to social media or switch on the TV set for entertainment in the morning. Instead, invest those precious hours on yourself. Second, worship sleep. Respect sleep. See sleep as the most important thing and go to bed early if possible. Third, learn, learn, and learn for personal growth. Because if you don't grow, your business and life can't.
In Warren Buffett's own words, investing in yourself is the best thing you can do. Excellent advice. Invest in yourself, whether that be getting more education or working towards improving a skill. Investing in yourself should always be top priority. Buffett spends a lot of his time reading, which we'll talk about in a moment. So it's a no-brainer that one of his top tips would be self-development. Once all is said and done, you are the main focus in your story. Everything you do in life, to some degree, is affected by the choices you make and the way you respond to each situation. It's not surprising that Warren Buffett has achieved what he has, considering the amount of time he spends improving himself. According to Warren Buffett, habits can make or break you. The trick is to get out of the trap before it closes on you. In a speech to graduating students at the University of Florida, Buffett advised the students to form good habits as soon as possible. He said this in regards to bad habits: "You can get rid of them a lot easier at your age than at my age, because most behaviors are habitual. Some habits go unnoticed until it's too late. The longer the habit has taken root, the longer it takes to change it." Always remember, the chains of habit are too light to be felt until they're too heavy to be broken. The quicker you realize your time is your most valuable asset, the sooner you will begin to protect it. Buffett says, having money makes you rich, having time makes you wealthy. This by no means is saying that making money is a waste of time. It just means be more wise with the time when it comes to making money. Figure out a way to make more money in the same amount of time. Find ways to make passive income. This way you have more time to spend with family and friends. One of my favorite quotes from Warren Buffett is, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. Invest, start a business, learn to make more interest on the money you already have. Remember, time is limited. No one knows how much they have. Make the best of it. Being around the right people is important in anything in life. Buffett often talks about the importance his mentor, Benjamin Graham, has played in his life. One of Buffett's closest friends is Bill Gates. Not a bad company to be around. Buffett advised high school students to spend time with people whose qualities they admire. He says, pick out associates whose behavior is better than yours, and you'll drift in that direction. Take time to find the right people you want to be around. They will influence some of the behaviors you'll exhibit. To quote motivational speaker Jim Rohn, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. The time you spend with others and who you surround yourself with will play a big role in your achievements in life. It's a simple concept. Avoid areas in your life that are known weaknesses and spend more energy on building your strengths. Buffett says you don't have to be an expert on everything, but knowing where the perimeter of that circle of what you know and what you don't know is, and staying inside of it is all important. In essence, capitalize on the areas that are familiar while steering clear of the ones that are less familiar. It's not that taking risks is wrong, but do it only for the right reasons. When you have what's important, don't go and risk it all for temporary satisfaction. Buffett, to his core, is someone who made a living by managing his risks. He's done a pretty good job, and I'm sure you'd agree. Managing risks is something that everybody should learn. Sadly, some people are so desperate to get that moment of pleasure that they risk everything they need to obtain it. Buffett says, if you risk something that is important to you for something that is unimportant to you, it just doesn't make sense. I don't care if the odds you succeed are 99 to 1 or 1,000 to 1. It's important to understand, while risks are unavoidable in business, being cautious is a must. Never test the depths of the river with both feet. Though much of his advice is on the conservative, cautious side, Buffett is a massive believer in grabbing opportunities when they arise. We don't do very many things, but when we get the chance to do something that's right and big, we've got to do it. And even to do it in a small scale is just as big as a mistake as not doing it at all. You really got to grab them when they come, because you're not going to get 500 great opportunities. Sometimes good opportunities come along and we do not realize them. Don't pass up a great opportunity because you have to work hard or it makes you a bit uncomfortable. Most of the time, you will feel uncomfortable, but that's with everything in life. You need to be on the edge of your comfort zone to fully embrace growth. As Warren Buffett put it, opportunities come infrequently. When it rains gold, pull out the bucket, not the thimble. Considering where he is in life, his analogy isn't too far off from his reality. Warren Buffett is a big reader. He reads between 600 and 1,000 pages per day when he was starting out, and still invests about 80% of his day to reading. Buffett once gave students in an investing class at Columbia University the following advice: read 500 pages like this every day while reaching towards a stack of manuals and papers. That's how knowledge works. It builds up like compound interest. All of you can do it, but I guarantee not many of you will. Most people go through life stuck in the same mindset. They don't grow, they don't take risks, they refuse to do anything. Why? They just don't want to do the work that's required. It's pretty easy to come home, sit on the couch, and watch TV until it's time to call it a day. But what good are you really doing? To quote Charlie Munger, go to bed smarter than when you woke up. What was your favorite tip from the Oracle of Omaha?